just went triple platinum. CDs triple platinum coated nuts. Biatch!
Sponsored by Run for Mummies. See us at MomoCon 2025. See the link below for details. You know, making long 30 to 40 minute videos can be straining. Sometimes I need a topic not filled with rabbit holes of old websites and articles. So often I think a video will be easy when, nah, I need a simple cartoon like here, Jake's BootyCall. There cannot be that much history to this. Our story takes us to Michael Eisner. Fine, 2003's National Lampoon's Jake's BootyCall, the first Flash animated movie and based on a game. Why is it the 20th worst cartoon ever in no particular order? Let's find out. Juice and jam time. But first, this video is sponsored by Run from Mummies for PC, Mac, Linux, and PS5, a single-player and couch co-op fast-paced puzzle game that I was surprised by. As tourists in Egypt, you must explore and collect relics to open an exit. But by the second unit of levels does the name make sense. You have to survive as you run from mummies. Your only defense is a camera flash that'll briefly slow them down. Some traps you need to run past, like the spike floors, but other traps like these statues with swords only strike if you run. So you have to walk slow here. Also, if you bump into breakable pottery, that'll stop you in your tracks. It's a game where you gotta rush, but you can't be reckless. You have different characters to unlock with different abilities. Some can snap photos as they move, some can heal the team, others can bash through vases with no issue. To earn more characters, you have to find them within the tomb, and there's over 100 levels. It's already hectic fun on single player, but I'd love to try local co-op sometime. Yeah, this video is sponsored, but I would have liked this game regardless. Run from Mummies for PC, PS5, and Mac. Okay, I mentioned Disney CEO Michael Eisner. Well, our story actually takes us to his son, Eric Eisner, and his friend Bruce Foreman, who both founded ROMP.com. The site is no longer up, but a fan archived it as the ROMP.biz. Don't forget the. In 2000, they hosted Flash animations, saucy images of women, and message boards. Their aim was to be the internet's South Park and Maxim magazine. ROMP had Flash cartoons mocking the Bush versus Gore elections, or sex and the inner city with beloved characters like Officer Clueless Klux Klan. Yes, these cartoons were very woke.
Previously on Tards. Motherfucker.
Even a series mocking the Metallica versus Napster piracy battle. Napster bad, money good.
Napster, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we come for you? Napster.
These are the only ones I've seen go viral prior, and it's from ROMP. It lampoons two of Metallica's members being greedy assholes and hunting down fans.
Napster, I'm gonna fucking slap you, silly dickweed!
Dickweed, bad!
Got something to say? You got something to say? Gonna cry? You gonna cry like a little sissy Mary? Not so tough, not so tough!
Nearly 20 years later, the creator of these, Bob Seska, still gets hate mail from Metallica fans, even though he himself loves the band and his time on ROMP. Back then, big companies were throwing money all over the place for the blossoming internet crowd. One of the site's most popular games was Celebrity Piñatas for people who wanted to beat up O.J. Simpson, Woody Allen, or David Hasselhoff. Hop 2011 wasn't that bad.
Even if you kill me, I'll be on reruns forever.
But a big piñata was reserved for John Rocker, a former baseball pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. Get ready for a tangent. John got New York to hate him after stating his detest for foreigners, gays, single moms.
The biggest thing I don't like about New York are the foreigners. How the hell do they get in this country?
I can't find any photos, but throughout the streets of NYC, ROMP.com hung John Rocker piñatas, letting people swing at and throw batteries at him. I know nothing of baseball, but his attitude is believed to have inspired Kenny Powers from HBO's Eastbound and Down. The creator says no, then again, no one likes getting sued for cash.
Hold on to your dick!
Before I steer back into ROMP, I gotta bring up John's 2011 Reddit AMA. Rest assured, John clarified he loves diversity as long as you hide away any ethnic stuff, pretend you're white, and assimilate. He did date people who aren't white, so he loves the ones that speak English. This AMA also gives us other fantastic questions like...
Thanks for apparently inspiring the character of Kenny Powers.
How do you feel about playing for New York?
You mean Jew York?
What have you inspired besides numerous abortions?
So you're for women's rights. That doesn't sound like the John Rocker I know and love.
That was a horseshit comment. You've been sitting there for 15 minutes trying to think of something clever to say. That's what you come up with? That's the worst attempt by anyone all day. You must have just the worst social skills. Enjoy living in mom's basement until you're 40, beating off to Baywatch reruns at 2 in the morning.
Well, this insult didn't work. Maybe try calling him gay.
Baywatch. I'm glad we're hitting these cultural phenomenons at their height.
Miss again and you'll have to watch Baywatch Nights.
Please learn English and assimilate.
Thanks for all the great questions and insults. Couldn't respond to everything. Love the trolling here. Have a 2 p.m. conference call. Have to run. Go find something better to do.
We weren't trolling. We really do hate you.
So you see, ROMP was big into mocking whatever was trendy or making offensive interactive cartoons like tonight's subject, Booty Call.
300,000 volts of electricity.
You're chilling with your girl C Boogie on ROMP.com radio. This one's a new one by Jake. It's called
Booty Call. Hey Jake, baby, why don't you give me a booty call?
A day in the life of a player named Jake. I make girls so wet they wanna masturbate. Bitches in every city saying,
fuck me, Jake.
So I hit that shit and then I tell them lay.
Created by Jane Meter and Kate McManus, who laid low after this, Booty Call were choose-your-own-adventure animations. Real fun idea. You play Jake, who wants to get laid. Pick a girl and see how it goes. Though what sucks is if you pick the wrong choice, you have to redo scenes, and there is no skip button. They took the time to animate these. You're gonna watch them.
Holy flying tricks, pimp man!
I'm just glad I found a cheat code site on Angel Fire giving us the right choices.
That's because you're a stupid sorority bitch. Oh, like you have a better offer, you stupid bitch!
Whoa, Jake, calm down. What the hell? Like, he was weirdly angry in some of the earlier issues.
You ever heard of the Mile High Club? You did all a good pimp could do.
Damn, I wish someone told me that growing up. Now, unlike all those weak sauce, hentai, ecchi AI art games on the Nintendo eShop, Booty Call's got uncensored, hand-drawn titties. No vaginas, though.
How about we do a shot of tequila?
Should you make the right moves, you get... There were 33 of these games made in 1 year. They took Jake to clubs, raves, Halloween parties, and Vegas.
Dude, that other chick got busted with a fake ID.
Oh, fuck, I gotta go.
The good thing is that's a losing option. Next choice. Hatsune Miku.
Shit, a player's gotta do what a player's gotta do.
There could have been more episodes, but the funding by ROMP was drying up. I'll explain why soon. At least many of their cartoons had a final episode send-off. For Booty Call, Jake was stabbed in the dick outside a club, like you see blood gushing out, followed by white fluids. Yeah. And they held a funeral for him featuring cameos by other beloved ROMP characters. Truly, he was the Princess Diana of sexual harassment.
It has developed a cult following among college kids. Illinois State University held a minute's silence when one of the characters on Booty Call Jake died. Harvard students have even started using Jake slang.
That sounds so exaggerated, but I could picture a whole frat house being big into Jake. If I saw a fraternity with Booty Call on the computer and a Barstool Sports flag on the wall, I know something illegal happened here that the dean covered up to protect their running back. Then again, Jake is trashy, but when a woman says no, he moves on. If a woman seems interested yet is passed out, he does nothing, and no substances while driving.
Jake, we have to stop. There's a kid watching.
Oh, it's all good, girl. He can get sloppy seconds.
To be fair, that's a losing option, and from what I've played, anything truly horrible that Jake does ends up being a game over. So he's less a quagmire and more of a boomhauer.
Hey, don't even fucking think about it. A good pimp never hits a girl.
Yeah, I gotta praise ROMP for doing so many choose-your-own-adventure cartoons like this way before Netflix did it and then delisted them on December of 2024. Likely by the time you watch this, Netflix has removed nearly all interactive titles, stuff that is almost impossible to even pirate. There is a group called the Netflix Interactive Archive just starting up, so hopefully they'll organize and preserve these for the future, somehow. So, despite Jake's innovation and his fans, how did it all go wrong?
Godzilla!
Well, things started great. Prior to ROMP, the founders Bruce Foreman was a merchant banker at Goldman Sachs, while Eric Eisner practically grew up around the entertainment business and was a talent scout for the Mighty Ducks or Anaheim Ducks. Not sure if they're indie cartoonists, they're not working with any major studios, but definitely business-savvy investors who saw the potential of online outside the Hollywood system. ROMP had 35 in-house writers in LA and 50 animators scattered across the globe.
Rather than go to Hollywood, we went and found our first wave of talent online. Those are the people who tend to be the most passionate about the internet and who are the most familiar with creating compelling interactive content for it. To change anything from the start, I think we would have hired an HR recruiter very early on. It would have made everyone's life at the company easier.
Oh boy, that last one is very relevant. I am 85% done with my Loki IRL pilot, though I need funding, thus I make videos. Share these vids around or comment. Though to make videos means no one's sending out acids or recruiting more people. Next time, look into a showrunner, I guess?
Ah, the Bone Zone. Dynamite.
What's crazy is in 2001, ROMP had a sort of Patreon service. Well, their stuff was still free, but it was more of a tip jar with likely some benefits for $5 a month. In just 3 weeks of opening subscriptions, they got 11,000 paid subscribers. Crazy. This was a niche site, and trusting people with money online was way harder back then. No one had PayPal, and giving your credit card info to this new thing called the internet was uncharted territory. It's like sticking your credit card in a glory hole.
Nah, hells no, she didn't.
11,000 paid users was a great start, but the article also mentions executives wanted another 40,000 to break even. Along with animation, hosting a site was even more expensive back then. The early 2000s was the .com burst, where tons of new businesses started online, and they just didn't know how to sustain it. Not enough internet users or outlets for cash. Literally the Simpsons episode, I Am Furious Yellow. Bart makes online cartoons, joins a company doing the same, only for them to go bankrupt. That episode was mocking toon sites like The ROMP, Icebox, or Mondo Media.
Bart, it's not about how much stock you have. It's about how much copper wire you can get out of the building with. Guys!
Now, Mondo Media was among the few to survive the .com burst, the makers of Happy Tree Friends and Dick Figures who are still around. They stayed afloat by selling merchandise, DVDs, and they were their own animation studio who helped on TV shows, so they weren't fully online only. ROMP was not so lucky as they outsourced their animations, but they had a plan. Pitch shows to TV. So, you came crawling back to TV, huh? One pitch was called Peep Show. It's a prank show of going out into the streets and making people do crazy stuff in exchange for cash. Meanwhile, people would bet on how far they'd go. I guess like Impractical Jokers, except the Jokers did it for the love of the game. Another pitch was for The Hunt, a reality scavenger hunt cross-country. Also planned was a Maxim-inspired magazine with a publishing company that also went out of business that very year. None of these were made, except on eBay, I found at least one issue and I bought it. Once I receive it, I'll link pictures of it in the description. So in 2001, after 1 year of service, ROMP already downsized most of its employees, but they didn't give up.
So everybody's wondering what's going on with ROMP. Well, let us start by saying the ROMP will never die. For all of you sipping haterade, you better back down because the ROMP isn't going anywhere. The ROMP is still on.
Months later, ROMP's website shut down, though it had one final project, Jake's Booty Call, the movie, the first Flash animated film, and with a budget of $50,000. Also, will.i.am from Black Eyed Peas was in the soundtrack. I guess it helped that National Lampoon either bought up or licensed ROMP stuff for themselves. Oh, great, another rabbit hole. Okay, National Lampoon. They were a humor magazine in the 70s, like Mad Magazine, but much hornier. Comedy magazines were dying by the 80s, so movies became their go-to. National Lampoon's Animal House, or all the vacation films, classics. Yet to stay afloat, they sold off the name and slapped it onto any random films, the Cloverfield of comedy. Today, National Lampoon is, well, their last film was in 2015, and now their website is just a link to submit your email for updates. Who my information is going to be sold to is up to fate to decide. It's just a brand some guy is sitting on while raking in whatever royalties those movies bring in. Now, info's murky as I can't tell if ROMP was licensed out or is now owned by Lampoon. Regardless, together in 2005 they sold old ROMP cartoons to watch on PSP UMD discs. Not even a courtesy DVD, couldn't put it on Video Now or GBA Video while you're at it. Even the description on the back mentions ROM being shut down, though our main topic is for the 2003 film they funded, National Lampoon's Jake's Booty Call.
We'll be back with more Booty Call after this.
What do you want?
You girls look like a bucket of Kentucky Fried Fuck, all wrapped up in original skin.
Who the starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
Back, y'all. Jake's back, and I got a fat sack. Jake's back, and I'm looking for some ladies.
If you're wondering, yes, this was played in theaters, well, a few select theaters on tour. As the first Flash animated movie, it's gonna look like ass, yet kind of impressive. While the colors are garish, the camera angles and parallax layers have a massive scope. And the subtle details like the overview of the city has cars and crowds moving in the back, it's very lively. And there's some effects like some extra lighting or more dynamic camera angles, stuff that TV animation made on a way higher budget rarely ever does. They were going for it. As for the character movements, they did as well as that era could do. God help them, as some scenes look eerily smooth. Did they rotoscope this? But yeah, writing-wise, what are you expecting? We follow Jake, who can score nearly any chick, though out of the kindness of his heart and wanting to bang, he helps this guy. A foreigner who's got no game and no life 2014. Turns out he's from a made-up, non-existent, non-offensive country of Bangslavoid, or whatever.
I'm too sexy for myself. Too sexy.
Ew! That's disgusting! Get away from me!
What? What is wrong?
Anytime he talks, I think Nightcrawler and X-Men Evolution, mainly for his accent and me wishing he can teleport into a wood chipper. No, it's not the same voice actor, though it turns out Seaton is actually a prince from Bangslavoid. He's royalty and has had everything handed to him by his father, so he wants to prove that he can get laid without his father's help. With this movie being co-written and co-directed by Eric Eisner, I do wonder if the plot is reflective of him, like Eric wanting to prove to his dad, the CEO of Disney, that he too can handle a big company, except replace a big company with getting pussy. Or maybe I'm looking too much into it.
Yodely-ow, how, how, hey, hoo.
So on this globe-trotting, dick-grabbing, pants-fapping adventure, Seaton summons his father's jet as Jake lights up the Jake signal. Once spotted in the sky, all the women leave their dates to hang out with Jake, an ability I unfortunately relate to. Some call me an accidental homewrecker.
Hey girls, Jake's calling.
Jake brings along all these women on his quest as they fly to other places to meet even more women there too. Statistically, one of them's gotta bang Citan. But uh-oh, would you have guessed Citan's brother hired assassins to kill him? Why? Because Prince Citan is next to be the king while his brother don't get nothing.
How did it feel to finally get up inside a vagina?
Oh no, I did not have sex with the vagina.
Damn!
Jake and Citan have no idea they almost died multiple times through the adventure. They're just meeting chicks and wacky characters like a rapper named Master Vanilla Puff Pastry and shit. Yeah, this guy's name is just shit.
What? Lay.
Walking away from those future diss track victims, Citan is oblivious to the sniper aiming for his head. And it misses. Okay, if we're not gonna change the gun laws in the US, can we at least get some snipers that know what they're doing for once?
Security! Damn, just when I start to get my Mac on, they gotta go shooting up the club.
We're only halfway through the film and I still have no idea why Jake talks like that.
I gotta say, you're looking fine.
Do I have fuck me written on me somewhere?
Like every phrase is just elongated, as if the arteries of his brain are clogged with the semen down the drain. He's like Mordecai and Rigby if they were dropped on their heads more than once. Lobotomizing Jake would only make him more powerful.
Actually, you got buckets and buckets of fuck oozing from all of your orifices.
Sure, big guy.
Next.
Seriously, nothing gets this guy down. If one chick denies him, he'll move on to the next. He is unstoppable, physically and emotionally. Running into these highly skilled assassins trained from birth to kill, they didn't know that Jake was bred to chill.
I am going to finish you. This one comes from the street.
Let's take this shit a little higher.
Along with Coconut Fred, Jake is one of the most ultimate characters in fiction. He can take down Super Saiyan level 5 Goku with a single kick. Any woman who denied this man was a fool in the end.
You know you love it, girl.
No, I don't.
Man, that chick's so basic, her favorite Pokemon's Gengar. Besides indomitable human horniness, what other powers does Jake have? Pimp vision. He knows when to make the right moves, and it's nice to see some mixed race representation.
I'm half black. From the waist down.
Wow, he's like Logic, except he can say the word. You know the one. The only time Jake has ever lost his cool was here. After his plane ride to Vegas, they rode on a yacht that assassins blew up. Jake and Citan washed up ashore to a desert island. That's when it became a psychedelic music video, which they were really trying here. The amount of layers and puppets on screen was probably throttling their Windows XPs. Though the storyboards look fantastic, much of the crew were experienced less on animation and more so on comics. Great illustrations, but they just didn't have the time and money to bring it to life properly. While on this sort of dream sequence afterlife of past musicians jamming together, Jake learns about one forbidden woman he's told not to mess with. So he does so anyway. That's right, a Vegeta monster. This is the only antagonist that has any power over him, and it's just a dream sequence. The only threat is Jake's own imagination. The reality outside of that don't mean nothing. No one can stop him but himself. He's gonna get denied, get rejected, but he's gonna keep moving on. No one's gonna stop him or you. So, you wanna wallow in fear, or you wanna get off this island and get laid, get paid, snort that crack, and seal it shut, man? After their big journey, Citan finally meets with a woman who understands him, loves him, holds him, pleases him, and does not share his hyperfixations, but will indulge in them anyway. Is that not what love is? Actually, no, he just ends up banging some nameless chick, and that's it. Conclusion: no emotional payoff or development of finding someone he loves. He just got lucky after 50 half-assed attempts. Statistically, someone's gonna say yeah. Honestly, if you're an incel, you just didn't ask out enough people.
Well, sort of. I work for the ROMP.com. They send me all over the world documenting my adventures.
movie ends with Jake kicking everyone's ass and Seton beating his brother, getting laid, and becoming a king, what's the point of becoming what we already are? It's over. So, what did I think? I mean, did you see it? There was no plot. The sex scenes weren't erotic enough, and all the jokes are just Jake going, titties. Like, imagine if my videos was me going, goth girls, yeah. Oh no. When you look at BootyCall's deleted scenes, you see the label for ROMP Films. Clearly this was the final attempt to keep the ROMP brand alive. While ahead of its time in the year 2000, ROMP failed because not enough people were online to financially sustain it. Meanwhile, co-founders Bruce Foreman is... no idea, probably still investing. As for Eric Eisner, well, he organizes professional sporting events and works at his father's company, Torrente Television, who produces... yeah, I think he's doing fine.
His destiny it is to become a Jedi pimp.
Despite over 30 million game downloads according to the DVD cover, Jake faded away. But looking at the comments for a movie review by Lazy Pillows, I found 2 animators claiming to have worked on BootyCall, the latter of which I shall leave you with.
For most of us, this was our first real Hollywood production, and we were just thrilled to be working full-time on an animated movie, and Flash no less. The office was an old ABC prop house in West Hollywood, and it was a riot. 57 artists and animators. We all lived, worked, and partied in that place for 3-ish years. Great memories, great friends. And as bad as the film was, Eric and Julian were literally the best bosses. They made work fun. They listened to us and our ideas, and they made the animation process fun. And they went above and beyond to see their artistic vision through to the end, with little to no outside interference. You gotta respect that. The real failure of this film was on the production end, which was sad. With a good producer, we really could have made this something special.
Don't give up. Challenge again.
Cartoon Network has a lot of shows, like this one.
You all right, Rod?
And this one. Play together forever and ever. But sometimes, not everything we show is suitable for the entire family. So pay attention to the TV parental guidelines ratings and control what your children see. Learn about the B-chip and parental controls available from your cable operator. Visit controlyourtv.org.
The world is the melting pot of pussy.